Hi guys, welcome to Nine's Corner. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm Nina. It's nice to meet you. And if you're returning, welcome back, my dear friends. So just off the top, please like or put a little comment because my videos are not part of the algorithm and I just can't get any momentum. So that would help me if you wouldn't mind. But let's get directly into our reading. So it's been a minute, but I had to wait for something of interest to come in, and I've got two things of interest. One, I was listening to the radio, or I was listening to Spotify actually, and the song Hotel California came on, and I was instantly like, "Welcome to the Hotel Mar-a-Lago." It seems like Trump lives there. Seems like Trump lives there with his orange hair. It was the first time I laughed all day, and it was like, okay, I need to do a reading on Trump. I thought, let's just do a quick little reading on his meeting with Kanye West and Nick Fuentes. And then I had an interesting question that kind of runs with this from a good friend of mine who said, we haven't heard about Eric Prince in a really long time. And, we'll get into Eric Prince, but he was connected with Donald Trump and certainly has the money and the want to kind of help Trump. So we're going to look into a little bit of that. But first, let's pull a card and just look and see what was Trump doing at that lunch? What was the purpose of it? What was he thinking? Okay. Trump. I'm not surprised. Here we got the sun. So this is all about building himself up, building up a reputation, trying to keep up appearances. And certainly to him, being with Ye, or, him who was formerly known as Kanye West, would give him some momentum, some push towards, being popular. And even though we may know that Kanye's been hitting the news for all the wrong reasons, Trump is a bit not tuned in. And as much as that might seem like an excuse for him, it truly isn't. It's not like, maybe he knew about Kanye West's comments and stuff, but it doesn't trigger to him that this would be a negative. It's almost like any publicity is good publicity, and he truly believes it. But I truly feel like him meeting with these people, knowing that that was going to get him exposure, is a whistle call to the extreme right, to the white supremacists, for those who are anti fill in the blank. I think this was done on purpose because he knows he's slowly losing ground like sand, just going from underneath his feet. And I truly feel like there is a possibility here that he's, trying to build up some kind of army coalition, Trumpsters that will fight for him if things were to go against him to the point where he could look at jail time, and he knows that that's going to happen. So think, in his crazy mind, he's thinking, I became president. It is possible that I could build enough people that if they try to do anything to me, I'll just do what I did on January 6th, and I will sick them on them. This is a crazy mind. So let's look at Nick Fuentes. I said it right the first few times. Nick Fuentes. Oh, we got the devil card out. Isn't that interesting? We got the sun and the devil. So with Nick, it's sort of like, I use you, you use me. And Trump having the sun is definitely wanting to make a relationship, to make a bond, to create something new going forward with somebody. So this works directly in with that. I'm going to use you, you use me. He's coming from a very dark place. Trump is very well aware of it. If he pretends that he didn't know of this person, he knew of him, or he was No, he knew who he was. He had some understanding of who this person was. He had heard of him at some point. That's what I'm seeing. And for Kanye West, Kanye. Um, we have the Hierophant here. We have the Hierophant. Wow. Do you see we have the Devil, the Sun, and the Hierophant all out? That's three major arcanas. So, no, this was definitely a meeting of the minds done on purpose, knowingly, all knowing about each other. Donald Trump did, in fact, tell Kanye, don't, don't run. I need those votes. Those votes, I don't want those votes going from me, and you're not going to make enough to win. So do not go. That's the one truth that Donald Trump did say. I think that um, I'm trying to look at these three cards together. Oh, look, guys, every single time we do a reading, do I not throw a card somewhere or my deck somewhere? Well, there's my card. It's gone again. For Kanye, he definitely went there thinking that, um, and this is weird because I'm actually going to say I think Trump did tell the truth about, to a certain extent, about Kanye wanting to know about how he could improve himself, but it was more to do with wanting to get closer to Trump, and it's almost like a case of being used and not even being aware of it. So I do think that Kanye's mental health does have a lot to do with how he goes out in the world, and that when you look at him, when you perceive what he's doing, mental illness does not make an excuse for everything, but it certainly can answer some of the questions. So I think he feels like there's this law that he has to live by, and he's searching for the truth. And that right now, in his state of mind, this is truth because these people are thinking outside of the box, and he thinks outside of the box is where he belongs. So outside of Kanye, it's a use and be used situation. Interesting. Let's put these cards back. So my next question, like I said, a good friend of mine, or maybe I didn't say, I don't remember now, but a good friend of mine had said, is there any chance that Eric Prince will come back in Trump's life? And I thought, okay, so let's ask about Eric Prince, because he has not been in the picture. In the past, he has certainly helped Trump. Let me just see. I got papers here. Eric Prince. He was the one who recruited ex-spies to infiltrate the left, helped Trump. In July of 2021, he had a $10 billion plan to make weapons and create a private army in Ukraine, which I thought was very interesting, seeing that it was over a year later, a year and a half later, in February of 2022, that the Russians invaded Ukraine. So did Eric Prince know about this upcoming war? Did he have some idea? Because if you're willing to put 10 billion into an investment, you know something. So I thought that was an interesting one. And in August of 2022, he came out with a smartphone that he said was going to be the most brilliant thing that ever hit the waves. And that's pretty much what I've been able to gather about him this year. I mean, he's been in a lot of legal issues and problems and stuff, but let's see. I know his sister has given to Trump and company, but let's see if Eric is involved in any way with Trump, because if Trump is meeting with people that are known to be bad characters, then maybe he really is trying to shore up his supporters, even if they are on the fringes, because if the proverbial hits the fan, Trump is not going to go easily. Trump is not going to just say, oh, well, they caught me. He's going to go insane. And the only way that he can get any support is to take the ones that are on the fringe and are far right and have thoughts against others and, are anti this or, whatever that shall be. So, Eric Prince, let's look at, sorry, I'm trying to go around this wire, so I'm moving my arms in and out. Oy. So, Eric Prince, past, present, and future. Oh, sorry if that was loud, guys. So, whoops. All right. In the past, we have judgment. So in the past, this is the actual coming together, creating a personal relationship. This is Eric Prince getting on board with Trump because he had his own agenda and really felt like, if I get in with Trump, this guy who all you gotta do is say, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Trump is. That he'll be able to do whatever it is that he wants, and he has the money and the lack of I want it, not character, but the lack of scruples, that he's willing to harm people as long as it puts money in his pocket. So right now, we got justice. So I think that right now, there might be a little pause in the relationship where there may be help underneath, but there's legal issues here. Not just for Trump. I think Eric Prince has his own legal issues that are going on and that will be mounted against him in the future. We got the Two of Swords. I think in the near future, we may hear about some kind of papers, documents, emails, where we will hear about the two of them. A possible reconciliation of the two of them coming together. Let's just pull another card. I just want to see if they reconcile, what will it be over? Will Eric Prince really want to come out and help Trump? Six of Wands, yes. So, you know what? With the Two of Swords, it could mean that there's going to be a reconciliation of them through paperwork, which could cause legalities for Eric Prince. So the delay would happen, and then there would be the coming together for a defense here. Okay, hold on now. This is getting crazy. I've got Judgment, Justice, and the Two of Swords. And the eventuality being the Six of Wands. I think I'm looking at them and not showing them to you. I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand this because... Let's just pull a few more cards, shall we? Because it looks like after a delay that Eric Prince and Donald Trump, or that maybe Eric Prince is kind of going, do I really want to help this guy? And that at the end of the day, he says to himself, yeah, I'll help him. So, very interesting. We've got the Five of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Page of Swords. So I feel that maybe Eric Prince had some legalities. Trump's name might have came up with it. Trump tried to speak to him because we got the Page of Swords here, so there might be some telling. So I'm wondering if Eric Prince will come up in the legalities in some kind of paperwork, and it could be, part of the money trail for the January 6th committee, or January 6th. Oh my God, guys. He could have helped, along with his sister, to fund the January 6th insurrection. Let's just have a look. Is that what's happening here? Because the cards are trying to tell a story. Guys, first card out. Who's this? Trump. Second card out. Who's this? King of Pentacles. We've got Eric Prince. And we've got Temperance. I guarantee you Prince was giving him money. Trump was happily taking it. I wouldn't be surprised if we found out about, I bet you any money, some of the papers that Trump put in Mar-a-Lago could have Prince's name on it and having to deal with in Ukraine. So I think that's what's actually going to happen. And it bugs me, the fact that Eric Prince was looking to put $10 billion into building arms and going in with creating their own army in Ukraine. So that's a year and a half before Russia went in. So what did he know? And that would have been when Trump was in office. So there's more to that story, and I got a feeling that's going to come out in the papers. So the cards are mixed in, and I'm really excited to get to our second reading because we're going to read on Hakeem Jefferies. He is going to be replacing Nancy Pelosi as the minority leader, and I can tell you 3 things that I know to be true about him. 1, that he's going to be the new minority leader. 2, that he often quotes rap singers when he is talking or doing a speech or something like that. And 3, you can't help but notice this is a good-looking guy. This is a really handsome man. But other than that, guys, I know nothing about him. I don't know, nothing. So I thought this is the perfect reading because when you know nothing, then you know what you're reading is really coming from a deep space, like your gut reading. So let's have a look and see what we can learn about Hakeem Jefferies before we actually learn about Hakeem Jefferies. I'm sure there's lots of you that are out there going, I knew about him, and could tell me lots about him. Seriously, when I saw him on television and they were introducing each other as being the new whip and the new this and the new that, I was looking at him and I was like, President of the United States, possible president. But I don't know if that's because he kind of put me in mind of Obama because he kept doing this and that was very much an Obama move. I don't know. So anyway, let's have a look at Hakeem. Let's look at the past that has brought him to the present. Let's look at his current present going into the new job. And how will things be in the next 6 months, say. All right. So his past bringing him to his current moment, we've got the Queen of Cups. So he is very much somebody who, um, he is very much somebody who wants his work to mean something, to affect others. This is somebody who truly has a strong belief in service and in service to others, which is really lovely to be able to be seen in a card. Um, but here you can see almost like he might be surprised by the opposition he's going to get. And I think there's somebody that he had a connection with that's probably somebody across the aisle that he thought he could work with. And they're going to turn their back on him. So there's going to be a little bit of disappointment coming in his future. And you know, with the Queen of Cups, it could be a situation where in the beginning people will be kind of going, I'm not understanding him. I'm not getting where he's going. But eventually he'll work on that and he'll be able to make you see his vision. He'll be able to connect the dots, as it were. But I think in the beginning that might be part of this pushback that he gets, is the fact that people aren't going to be able to understand him or his message. But divine energy, divine spirit will intervene and help smooth out those rougher edges, because he is truly somebody who is of service to the people, of service within his own life. In the near future. Okay. In the near future, things are going to work out. But this is the card, and I think we've talked about this before in previous readings, that this is a card of sincerity, that if you sincerely wish for good and you are sincere in your wishes and your wants, you will receive them. But if you're insincere, if you're unkind, if you have, you know, harm for somebody else in your mind, the insincerity will stop you from getting what you want. So he has to be sure that in gaining some momentum, that he doesn't forget that he came into this for service, not for the platitudes or for all the extras that he will get, the abundance that he'll get, the people saying, wow, yes, yes. And you know, he's going to be somebody of importance, and that's going to build up and become greater. And for him, he has to be sure that while he's in that promoting himself, he has to ensure that people know that he's the man to do the job, that he's doing the job, he's doing the opposition. He for himself has to admit his own weaknesses, because only by acknowledging his weaknesses will he be able to work on them in the future, especially if he decided to, go for upper office somehow. I don't know why, but I just can kind of like, I find him interesting that. And over the next 6 months in his job, we have the Four of Swords. It seems like with the Four Swords here, there's a lot of activity, and we're going to hear about emails, paperwork. It's like, I guess the beginning of his job is going to be a lot of paperwork, finding out a lot of stuff. A little bit worried that he might come down with a cold and need a little rest or something like that. But there's a feeling here that there's going to be some kind of situation, and it's going to be a case of like, this is so unfair. This is not right. I don't know if that situation is going to be held against him, and it'll take a little bit of time for him to build back up because of this hit, or if it's going to be a situation that's presented against him, in opposition of him within the job of being the minority leader. So I do feel like there's going to be a situation that's considered unjust, that's going to cause him to have to take a step back, not from his job, but just kind of have to back off and go, okay, hold on now. There's been this whirlwind of activity and flurry that's happened around me. I see the good in it because I was so excited to get the job. I really worked hard for it. I really like to help people. I want to do this. And then all of a sudden the opposition comes and he realizes the opposition is not just coming from the other side of the aisle. There's going to be opposition that comes from within, because any place that you work, there's going to be people who are jealous. There's going to be people who are going to want their own way because they have things that they've done that they want to keep covered up. Or, I mean, when people go in starry-eyed and hoping for the best, sometimes they can be hit with some reality. And I just feel like this is what that's going to be. And he's just going to feel like certain things are really unfair, unjust. But this is going to be the reality of him learning the job, right? So that'll be our reading for today. And as always, I have our unity candle lit for each and every one of us. And considering now it's December 1st, I hope that this candle is a light for anybody who may be feeling the blues this Christmas. For those who don't particularly like the holidays because it reminds them of loved ones that have passed, and it could be a time of just sad nostalgia. We're all going through it. And maybe Christmas is a time when you realize, your lack of money, your lack of friends, your lack of. This light is to remind you that the fact that you get to wake up in the morning and take a nice fresh breath is worth everything. The fact that you get to sit here and watch me, even though you might be thinking, God, man, I'm wasting my time. But you get to do it. You get to be part of this tapestry called life. And you can choose by your thoughts the type of life that you want. So for anybody who feels the blues, know that I light my candle for you. I light my candle for each and every one of you so that you have hope and that you have peace and that every now and then you have beautiful, great joy in your life. So until the next time we chat, my friends, cheerio and take care.